Welcome, friend, to Life and Liberty Radio. I'm David Householder, here to encourage your pursuit of happiness. You and I are partners, exploring our shared spiritual journeys. Together, we're dreaming and working for a free society. Tell others today about our adventure in faith and freedom. So breathe in, open your mind, lift up your spirit. Let's get started. Do you have a fragile heart? Or are you full of fortitude? I'm going to take you way back into some of the earliest stories we have as a human race. I'm going to take you back 30 centuries, over 30 centuries, to a man named Gideon who lived in the Middle East. And Gideon was a coward. Gideon was a person with a fragile heart. Gideon was a person who thought, my family is not much, my nation is not much, our enemies are bigger than we are, and I need to show people that I'm okay with that and I just want to survive. Well, it turns out that a message from the Creator showed up with a message for Gideon. Now, you might think in terms of cartoon characters and some angels showing up, but the truth is we do get messages from the source of everything. There's lots of labels we can put on that, and lots of languages have different words for that. But the truth is, you and I both know that that happens. You can call it a hunch, you can call it intuition, or you can call it an angel, but there's lots of ways to look at what is a common human experience. You're driving down the freeway and you think, someone's looking at me, and you look over to left shoulder and sure enough, someone's looking at you. Or you're at the kitchen sink and you think, one of my kids is in trouble, and sure enough, one of your kids has fallen off the slide at the playground. We're kind of wired in a way we don't fully understand. So he gets one of these messages, and an angel of the Lord showed up and surprised him. And this is from the book of Judges in the Bible, chapter 6, verse 11. Then the angel of the Lord came and sat beneath the great tree at Oprah, which belonged to Joash in the clan of Abiathar. Gideon, son of Joash, was threshing wheat. Now get this. At the bottom of a winepress to hide the grain from the Midianites, the enemies. Then the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said, Mighty hero, the Lord is with you. Now, this is at least a little bit comical, because here is a man who is so much of a coward that he is doing his farming work at the bottom of a wine press so nobody sees him and takes his stuff. I mean, think about it. You ever wonder about those people that are always obsessed with locking everything? I better lock everything. I better, make sure that we've got a security system on everything, and people want my stuff. It is that whole kind of fragile attitude towards the world. Now, this fragile, anti-fragile thing I'm getting from a book right now by Nassim Taleb, which is called Anti-Fragile. And it talks about 3 stages of being: fragile, robust, and anti-fragile. Anti-fragile people actually thrive off of problems and get energy off of them and work best with a headwind. Gideon's not one of those people. Gideon is in the wine press, doing his thing, and hoping nobody sees him. And the messenger from the Creator says, Mighty hero, the Lord is with you. Sir, Gideon replied, if the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us? Why me? And where are all the miracles our ancestors told us about? Didn't they say, the Lord brought us up out of Egypt, but now the Lord has abandoned us and handed us over to the Midianites, our enemies? So he's whining, and he's complaining, and he's saying, hey, woe is me, why? This is your host, David Householder. Say, if you're ever in Southern California, we invite you to come and join us personally at Robinwood Church in Huntington Beach. You can find us at robinwoodchurch.com. We're a unique spiritual community with worldwide influence. Come join us. Fragile people say why, and I do that occasionally. They ask why. And anti-fragile people ask how. How do I make this work? How is this going to happen? In fact, Mary, the Virgin Mary from the Christmas story, when the angel shows up with her and says something equally outlandish, she doesn't say why, she says how. How are we going to make this work? How is this possible? How and why are two different attitudes, two different temperaments. How focuses on the solution, and why focuses on a gerbil wheel of emotions that goes round and round and goes nowhere. Then the Lord turned to him, to Gideon, and said, now we don't know if it's an angel or the Lord here. In these ancient texts, it's hard to tell. So the Creator turned to him and said, go with the strength you have and rescue your people Israel from the Midianites. I am sending you. Now, he doesn't say, go with the strength that you need to have, or go with more strength than you have. Go with the strength you have. You have what it takes, is what the angel is saying. And I would like to say that to you, the podcast listener. Whatever challenges you're facing today, those challenges can actually make your life better than if you didn't have them. You will get farther because of problems than if you didn't have them. Go with the strength you have. You have what it takes. You don't need an extra super-duper pill like Underdog in the cartoons used to get back in the 60s, this super-duper energy pill or whatever he called it that was in his ring. And all of a sudden he had this special power. And you're not Clark Kent waiting to be Superman. You know, it's not like you need an upgrade to do what you need to do. You have what it takes, even if it's not very much. What you have is enough. We have to believe in the abundance of what we have. But Lord, Gideon replied, how can I rescue Israel? My clan is the weakest in the whole tribe of Manasseh, and I am the least in my entire family. I'm the biggest wimp. I'm the runt of the litter. The Lord said to him, I will be with you, and you will destroy the Midianites as if you were fighting against only one man. So here we have someone who is fragile. And I would like you to ask yourself, are you looking forward to your problems today? Do you see your problems as advantages? Do you see your challenges, those things that are stacked against you, those things that are too strong for you, as real assets? And the truth is, they are. Because look back at your life. Where did you make the most progress in your life? Was it during a time of ease while you were sitting in the lazy boy, eating donuts and watching cable reruns? Relaxed with a cat on your lap? Or was it that time you faced down your Midianites? That time when you had no choice. You faced down your challenges and you prevailed. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how to prevail. We're going to continue the story, the ancient story from 30 centuries ago of Gideon. Because, like Gideon, you have what it takes. Well, that's all for today on Life and Liberty Radio. Thanks so much for sharing this part of your spiritual journey with me. Now, the views on this program are not necessarily those of my advertisers, sponsors, places I work or do business with. They're purely my own, but I'm sharing them with you, so share your ideas with me. Write me on Twitter at Liberty House, LIBERTYHOUS, no E. Until next time, let's continue dreaming and working for a free and spiritually grounded society.